Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations avec Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and it is the 24th of January 2024 at 8:22 a.m. guys. The sun is not even over the mountain here in Killaval, and you're probably thinking to yourself, how is it bright outside then, Cornelius? Well, I don't know. I didn't invent the weather, but it's bright, but I can't see any sun. How do you know that now, Cornelius? Because I was outside. I've been outside already doing my morning ritual that I was talking to Noelle about on this podcast over the last couple of days. I have I have a ritual to try and get me into the day, try and wake my body up, wake my mind up, and put me into a form that I want to be in, okay? Because I wake up, I don't know what you guys are like, okay? But when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I have to get out of bed. Like, now some people might go, oh, that's a fucking very negative attitude. That's just the way I'm built. I'm just like, I love my bed. I don't particularly like going to bed early. I like to stay up really, really late. If I had my way, I would go to bed at around between 2:30 and 4:30 at night, and just get up then whatever time I wanted to during the day. But alas, I have procreated with the Queen, and throughout those procreations, we have managed to put our jelly stuff together, and out of that jelly stuff, there formed a zygote. And then that zygote kept multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And then a baby was formed. And that baby came out into the world. And then we did that twice. And now we've got 2 babies. So I can't sleep in to whatever time I want to, irrespective of how much I want to, ladies and gentlemen of the Padcast Nation. Today I am solo. I was in bed this morning, right? So just to recap, okay? There's a few interesting things today. This isn't going to be a particularly long podcast, Cornelius. But I woke up early this morning. I woke up at about maybe 10 past 7. And I went to bed extremely early, all right? Now, you're contradicting what you just said there earlier on, Cornelius. I know I'm contradicting it, but there's a reason I'm contradicting it. Just because I would like to go to bed between 2 and 4 o'clock, that doesn't mean that is the prudent thing to do. I would also like to drink Diet Coke every day, but that's really bad for me, so I don't drink that every day. So now that I'm at the stage of my life where I am conscious of my decisions, I'm trying to make decisions that are good for me physically and mentally and obviously spiritually. So there's an old saying, and my mother, God rest her soul, and she's not dead, she's still alive, but I still want God to rest her soul, had a great saying that she inherited from her mother, who inherited from her mother, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure that it's not just along our lineage that we use this saying. It's a wide known and well respected saying, and it is: early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. And I remember my mother saying this to me when I was young. She'd be tucking me into bed when I was the boy's age, 7 or 8, when I was living in Ballyclaw as a young whippersnapper back in the 80s. And she'd be saying that to me, and I'd be like, sure, I've no interest in being wise. Do you know what I mean? I want to go to the back and play football. I want to go up and annoy my sisters. You know, so wise was not something that I was attaining. It was not something that was in my vision. It wasn't something that was on my vision board. I didn't have a vision board. If I had a vision board, it would have read toys and football and hurling. That's what it would. That's literally it. But early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. And the older I get, the more that phrase has significance to me because I'm up now early. I went to bed early. For me, like going to bed, I was in bed last night at 10:25, and that is fucking early for this human being here. Really, really early. And I left my phone downstairs. I've been doing this all year. Because prior to this year, I would genuinely go to bed. Noelle would go to bed at around 10:30, 11:15 every night. And if she had her way, she'd be in bed at 9:30. She'd only be staying up because I'd be guilting her into, come on, just let's watch another episode of this. But then she would go to bed. Like invariably, she'd be in bed at 10:30. All right? She got way up to bed, and I wouldn't go to bed for at least another 4 hours. 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. 3.5 to 4 hours. So I'm up for another 3.5 hours. What are you doing in that time, Con? Fuck all. Playing FIFA, watching YouTube, maybe watching a movie, making a snack. All that's, and don't get me wrong now, I love FIFA. Playing FIFA is one of the most enjoyable things that I do in my life. I will do it until I die, or I cannot do it. It's the most, because it's competitive. You're in a competitive arena. I play live against people from around the globe, and our skill levels are always matched up. So I'm always playing someone at my skill level, and it's competitive. And I love a bit of competition. I love competition. I don't like being in competitions per se, particularly comedy competitions, but I like a competitive spirit. I like if you're in it to win it, like with my show in the Everyman. I'm in that to win it. My aim this year, sell downstairs. And that's done now. And now that aim is gone. So what's the new aim? All right, okay, could we sell upstairs? Would that be possible? Is that possible? I don't know. I don't know. But early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, 100% healthy. I got up this morning now and I looked at my whoop and it said I had a refreshing night's sleep. I slept just under 8 hours, just slightly under 8 hours. And you need to sleep for health optimum, 7.5 to 8 hours is what is recommended. And I slept 7 hours and 54 minutes, which is almost 8 hours. And then it tells you what kind of REM you got and what deep sleep you got and what light sleep you had. I find it fascinating. And it's still calibrating. It's still getting all my information as the month progresses. But early to bed... early to rise makes a man healthy. So does it make you healthy? So this is what happened to me now, right? I went to bed early last night and I awoke this morning sometime between 7 and 7:15. Harvey John, our 7-year-old, had crept into the bed at some stage throughout the night. So I got a cuddle off him, got a cuddle off my wife. And Noelle's the kind of person, she kind of wakes up. And once she's properly awake, she's like, right, okay, I'm up. I'm gone. She likes to go to bed early, but she does like to get the day started when she wakes up. So she got up anyway with Harv and left me in the bed by myself, and I was in the bed by myself, but I was wide awake because I had a fresh night's sleep. And I was inside in bed, and I was like, my mind went, I wonder this is where my mind went. I wonder were there any tickets bought for my show while I was asleep. That's because I'm obsessed at the moment. I'm obsessed with, doing my best to try and push this so that I leave no stone unturned. Okay, so that's where my mind went to first of all. And then very quickly, I was like, stop thinking about that. There's nothing you can do about that. And then I thought to myself, well, I could always go downstairs and get my phone and check. But I didn't. I lay back in the bed, right? Closed my eyes. It was still dark. The curtains, we've got brilliant curtains upstairs. They really do darken out the room. And I just lay there. And in my mind, I just repeated the following affirmation. I'm worthy of my happiness. I feel incredibly healthy. I adore that my comedic creativity is a reason I'm abundantly wealthy. Everything I touch turns to gold. My Everyman tickets are all sold. I'm lucky. I'm grateful and busy as a bee. Everything is working out perfectly for me. So I repeated that mantra, that affirmation, that sentence formation over and over and over and over to myself in my bedroom this morning. I'd say I must have said it 25, 30, 40 times maybe. I'm worthy of my happiness. I feel incredibly healthy. I adore that my comedic creativity is the reason I'm abundantly wealthy. Everything I touch turns to gold. My Everyman tickets are all sold. I'm lucky and grateful and busy as a bee. Everything is working out perfectly for me. And you know what happens, right? When you have a formation of sentences that you've taken time to curate, you've obsessed over every single word on that sentence. You almost put a song to it. Like I sing it to myself sometimes. When I'm in the shower, I roar it out loud. When I'm in the car and my mind goes to negativity, I try to stop. Like, I try to stop and interject and put that in as the interjection. I'm worthy of my happiness. I'm worthy of my... I deserve to be happy. I feel incredibly healthy, and I do. I feel healthy, and I'm working on my health. I'm not the healthiest person on the planet, but I feel healthy, and I'm definitely healthier than I was this time last year, and I'm working on that. And I feel it deep inside me. I'm worthy of my happiness. I feel incredibly healthy. I adore that my comedic creativity is a reason I'm abundantly wealthy. So these are things that I'm just saying. I just love that my comedy is the reason that I pay my bills. Yes. So these are all positive statements first thing in the morning. That's going into your brain. Your synapses are waking up. They're firing up. What are they thinking about? Are they thinking about the bins? Are they thinking the bins blown out all over the road? I don't know. I haven't even checked. The bins did go out last night. They could be all over the road. I haven't fucking checked. I'm too busy being positive. What else? I'm adored that my comedic creativity is the reason I'm abundantly wealthy. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold. Whether or not people believe that, whether or not I believe that, I'm saying that to myself. And I think if you say something, if you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it's going to stick. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold. My Everyman tickets are all sold. Are my Everyman tickets all sold? Well, I can tell you this. When I started this affirmation, which was back in August of last year, I had my old affirmation, and people who listen to this particular podcast will know that I've been banging on about affirmations since the inception of Conversations with Cornelius. And I still use my old affirmation. I still use it. Was this? What was it? Oh God! What was my old one? What the fuck was my old one? I'm worthy of my happiness. I feel incredible. What is it? I'm abundant with joy for my mental, physical and spiritual health grow deeper and stronger day by day, ensuring that I'm always happy, healthy and hilarious. My joy expands further through my work with my podcast sketches and live shows, attracting millions of fans worldwide, allowing money to flow easily and frequently to me. That was my old affirmation. It's still my affirmation. I'll still use it from time to time. I pull it out when I get tired of saying whatever I'm saying at the moment. But in August, I knew I was launching my Everyman show in early September, and I was like, okay, let's write an affirmation that's specific to this goal. Let's really, really try and visualize having the Everyman full. Let's really visualize, happiness and joy associated with everything in relation to this show. And I sat down, and it took me probably a week to finalize the flow of it. I'm worthy of my happiness. I feel incredibly healthy. I adore that my comedic creativity is a reason I'm abundantly wealthy. Everything I touch turns to gold. My Everyman tickets are all sold. I'm lucky, I am grateful, and I'm busy as a bee. Oh, everything is working out perfectly for me. And I have the boys saying it now. The boys say that affirmation as well. So they're like, yeah, Everyman tickets are all sold. And when I wrote that, and when I visualized that, I felt fear. I was like, I can't say my Everyman tickets are all sold. I can't say that. 650 tickets? For fuck's sake, who do you think you are, man? Who do you think you are? You can't be saying that to the world. People will think you're mad. People will think this guy needs to be brought to a hospital and checked in, and can only be signed out by his mammy and daddy. Right? That was That's the fear inside of me when I was writing it. But I also know that you have to face those in life, these massive things that come your way, these mountains, these insurmountable, what seem like insurmountable goals. If you want, if you want to have a bit of crack, if you want to try and attain something, like, you know, I'm not saying what I'm doing is earth-shatteringly brilliant. There's hundreds and thousands of people who've put on shows across the globe and sold them out. But I've never done it. And I've never ever done a solo show in any way, shape or form that even relates to this. I've done big shows down through the years. I know I've talked about this with Noel. You know, I've been in the Opera House in front of 1,000 people on several occasions. I've been in the Everyman in full houses on several occasions. Always, always as a part of a collaboration or in support of another act. This is mine, baby. This is mine. And so when I was writing this affirmation, I was like, what do I want? What do I want? And I knew what I wanted, and that's what I wrote. So, yeah. My Everyman tickets are all sold. Are they all sold? Well, I'll tell you this. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of the 1st, 2024, which I've already said. And it is now 8:38. We have been listening. You have been listening, if you're still listening, for 15 minutes. Okay? And I counted my tickets this morning. One second. I got up. Sorry, let's go back. So I woke up and I did my affirmations. All right? In my bed, in the darkness. And I did them in my mind as well. And all that's in my body when I get up then is, how can I move forward? What can I do today to sell a few tickets? What can I do today to make sure that when Saturday comes, I'm even more ready? What can I do today to make sure that my body is strong and healthy and my mind is also clear and extremely, extremely healthy also? What can I do to do that? And so I went into my morning routine. I got up first of all anyway, okay? And with nothing but positivity in my mind, because I'd started my day with my affirmations. And I don't know what you're like, guys, but I like to go for a poo-poo first thing in the morning, right? So I went to the toilet and there was no toilet paper and I was like, oh, fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks, fiddlesticks, fiddlesticks. But I didn't let it get me down because I had just done 455 billion affirmations. So I went to the toilet, no toilet paper. I was like, okay, all right, okay. That's the universe testing me. And I walked down the hall, and as I was walking down the hall, I noticed that there was a small light on in my children's bedroom. And I knew Harvey had slept in with us, or had crept in with us. And I knew that they had gone downstairs. And I had assumed that Hunter had gone downstairs as well. But and I would rarely do this because I was fully convinced that he was downstairs. But something in me was like, just go in there and make sure that Hunter has gone down and turn off that light. And I went in. And as I went in, Hunter's legs were hanging out from underneath the quilt. And I walked through the door and the legs scurried back under the quilt straight away. And I was like, Hunter, are you in here? I am, Dad. I said, are you all right? I'm just having a little bit of a rest. And I was like, would you like me to carry you down? And he pulled back the blankets, kneeled up on the bed, and triumphantly outstretched his arms. And I was like, everything is working out perfectly for me. Oh my God. And I picked him up and he squeezed my neck. And his 2 feet wrapped around the lower part of my waist. And I brought him downstairs. I carried him downstairs. And Harvey was having his Weetabix and Mom was in the kitchen making a coffee. And it was a big hello for the two of us from Mom. Harvey was watching his cartoons. He didn't give 2 fucks. And I put Hunter down onto the couch and I have a kind of a snood, really beautiful green Homer Simpson wearable snuggy kind of a blanket that I've been wearing all winter. And there's a chill in the air. It's not too chilly, but there's a chill in the air. It's early morning. And I put him down and I wrap him around in that blanket. And I can just see in his face contentment. Pure, unadulterated contentment. And I go in and I kiss my wife. and I rub the top of my other son's head, and I say good morning, and they all say good morning back to me, and it's a great start to the day, lads. It's a great start to the day. Affirmations, hugs off my kid, kisses off my wife, and I tell Noelle, I say, look, I have this idea there, babe. You've been doing the podcast there with me for the last God knows how long, all right? And I want to do one every day, but today is a super busy day because we've got a documentary crew coming down later on, and then I'm doing a gig later on this evening. It would be like this evening I won't be able to get to bed early. There will be no early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise today. Well, there will be, healthy, wealthy and wise, definitely. But there will be no early to bed. Will there be early to rise tomorrow? There will be early. There'll be early to late to bed, early to rise. That's what's going to happen tonight. But you can bank your sleep, But because I went to bed early last night, I'm just fucking lifting, lads, lifting. So I said to Noelle, I said, look, I have a quick idea. I had an idea as I was coming down the stairs. I was like, pop on, do the podcast now. Do the podcast by yourself, so Noelle doesn't have to do it today. And because she loves doing it, by the way. Don't get me wrong, she loves doing the podcast, but like we're busy today and there's a lot going on. So just take that little job, get that done, and move on. So I said it to her. I said, I'm thinking of just going out there, getting my morning routine going, doing my stretches, drinking my water, doing my deep breathing. And I said, I'm going to come straight in then and do a podcast. And she was like, oh, will we not do one together? And I was like, well, we can if you want to, but it'll be late before I'm home, babe. And we'll all be tired. And she said, go on, so do it. So I did. And I left her and the two kids. They're still inside. It's now 9:15. We're on this podcast 21 minutes, guys. I'm still rambling, right? And I went outside and I started off. I did my breathing. I did my stretching, And in my mind while I'm doing this, I'm saying sentences of my affirmation. I'm not doing my affirmation in its entirety, but I'm just like, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm hilarious, I'm kind. Everything's working out perfectly for me. Everything's working out perfect. Instead of Storm Jonas and Trump is close to Biden and after a rematch in the New Hampshire win, or instead of more women seeking help for problem drinking, 5 takeaways from New Hampshire primary, the Argentinians have down tools in their first major challenge. These are the news headlines. I'm on the RT website. Private cremation held in Cork for Ian Bailey. Ex-bakery sales manager settles age discrimination case. How much does it really cost to build a house in Ireland? All negativity. And now I'm coming off it immediately. I just had it on there for that particular reason. I don't want it in my life. I can't avoid it. You can't avoid it either. We can't avoid it. But what we can do is we can put an armour on us in the morning. We can put on our armoury so that we can deflect it. And we can be strong and we can be happy. And so I went out, I did all my routine, and I came in and I checked. Before I did this episode, I checked to see how many tickets were left and had any tickets shifted while I slumbered last night. And on Sunday, I had a look, and there was 130 tickets to go on Sunday. And that 130 now, right, on Sunday, was as enormous to me as back in August when I was starting off doing the affirmations, and there was 650 to sell. Because there's a week to go, there's 130 to go. I know that all my family and friends and colleagues that have bought, like there are so many family and friends coming. I've at least 100 family and friends coming, and I know that. Probably, maybe not 100, but very close to it. And then add in the comedians on top of that are coming. Like I know Tig is coming, I know Bernard Casey is coming. I know all the Coco crew are coming. I know there's loads of people coming, and I'm delighted with that. So maybe another 20, 25 comedians coming. So maybe 100, 110, 115 of the 650 are coming directly to support me. And I'm fucking thrilled with that. Oh my God. Happy thank you more, please. How cool is that your friends and family are coming out to support you? Like I'm gobsmacked by it, but like, where did all the rest of the fuckers come from? So anyway, my point is, on Sunday when I knew there was 130, I was like, well, there's literally knowing that I can pull in now, everybody that I love and everybody that likes me has bought tickets. My friends, the friends that like, you have got friends and colleagues out there. Some people will be like, oh, I hope you do really well. But behind their back, they're like, fuck him. I know who you are. I know who you are. There are that, right? But then there's people that are just genuinely coming. They like my comedy. I'm delighted. But the 130 seats that were available on Sunday, I know that I have exhausted everybody at that stage. So anybody who buys a ticket from then on in is coming to see the show. And I was like, okay, it's like, how am I gonna shift those tickets? So I just did an impassionate plea on my Instagram, and I asked people to share my stuff, please share it. And if you see me posting, like, comment and share. And wow, did people do that. People have been doing that since Sunday in their droves. And I'm just not talking about just friends. I'm talking about randomers. I'm talking about my own GA club here in Killavullen. My own lovely, gorgeous, heartwarming club, Ballyclaw, where I don't even live anymore. I've gone from Ballyclaw, maybe 5-6 years ago. But like my heart is in Ballyclaw. And they've been sharing it. And I know there's a load of, my old teammates coming. And, but nonetheless, that 130 is a massive number for me with a week to go. But I checked anyway this morning, and I'm down to 99 red balloons, guys. 99 red balloons. La 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 la. La 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 la. And I can't believe it. I'm in double digits. Noelle was laughing when I was saying that. She was like, double digits, oh, you're hilarious. But 99 is, I don't know. It's like every single ticket that sells between now and Christmas, between now and Saturday, is on. It's on the way to zero, and it's really exciting me. It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like, 3.5 days, right? To get to zero. I don't know if I'm going to get there. But I'm fucking excited. I am excited, guys. And that's all that matters, So... Thanks for listening, guys. Stay in by the wall. Peace and love.